have got, it is also on the topic of cosmic inflation only, right? Let's talk about it. Now students, before I go ahead and talk about this term cosmic inflation, please pay attention. Let me first tell you what exactly cosmic inflation means. So students, all of you remember that there is a theory called Big Bang, and all of you also remember that the Big Bang theory explains that universe was once in a form of a singularity, and this singularity underwent a massive explosion called the Big Bang, and that created our universe. Got it, all of you? This is what all of you know. But you know what? Despite of this belief that Big Bang is real, still there are a lot of things that Big Bang could not explain. There are a lot of things that we see around us that unfortunately the Big Bang could not explain. Like for example guys, the Big Bang could not explain the presence of dark energy, right? According to Big Bang, universe should be slowing down, but with dark energy we discovered that the universe is still expanding, and that too at an accelerated rate. But apart from this, there were still a lot of questions that Big Bang could not answer, and that is the reason why there is a good number of scientists who do not believe that universe was created by a Big Bang. They believe that universe might have got created by a similar event, but not the way what George Lemaitre believes, right? Like there is a theory called quantum loop theory. They say that universe must have must have been formed by something called big bounce, not Big Bang they call it. They said that there was a big bouncing event that occurred that started the vibration that eventually released all the energy in the form of the universe. Although let's see, so imagine students, if the universe is formed by an explosion like a Big Bang, so when a Big Bang would have occurred, don't you think the energy would have been thrown in all possible direction? If Big Bang like event would have occurred, then don't you think the energy of this Big Bang would have been released in all possible directions? It would have got released like this, it would have got released like this, and also like this. So if the energy got released in all directions, then don't you think our universe should also be like a giant sphere, right? Our universe should have been in a form of a giant sphere, guys. And if you try to picture our Milky Way, our own solar system, everything should have been spherical in nature. So if the universe was created by a Big Bang, then suppose if this is the sun, our solar system should have been like this: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. This is how the planet, this is how our solar system should have looked like. But when you look at our solar system, how does it really look like? It looks like this. There is a certain degree of flatness that we see in our solar system, and not just our solar system. Just look at our galaxy. Our galaxy is a spiral shaped galaxy. A spiral shape is supposed to be a flat galaxy. In fact, all the other galaxies that we have seen in the universe, we have already launched Hubble Space Telescope. Their galaxies are spiral shape or elliptical shape like this. They all show a distinctive flatness. So when George Lemaitre was asked that you have talked about, Bang, but what has made the universe flat then? How did the universe become or show this, or what is the reason why the universe show this incredible flatness everywhere? Every galaxy that we have discovered, guys, whether it is elliptical galaxy or spiral galaxy, they all appear to be flat. So why does the universe show this incredible kind of flatness? Unfortunately, George Lemaitre was not able to answer this. Then another question was asked to him that, see, if an explosion like Big Bang occurs, if an explosion like Big Bang really occurs, then guys, just think about it. If an explosion like Big Bang occurs, what will happen because of Big Bang? Don't you think all that matter which is heavy and dense, when explosion happens, the heavy and dense matter should be the first one to slow down? Don't you think so? If all this matter is being produced and released in a Big Bang, all this heavy dense matter, it is not supposed to go to the periphery of the universe. The heavy and dense matter is something that slows down first and stops. And when you look at the periphery of the universe, it should have lighter matter only, because light matter would be able to travel to a longer distance. Are you able to visualize? So if universe would have got created in a Big Bang, then technically the universe should have an unequal distribution of mass. All that mass that is closer to the point of Big Bang should have highest density, and all that mass that is at the periphery of the universe should have low density. So hydrogen, helium, the low density atoms should be only at the periphery of the universe, and heavy elements like up till uranium should be at the center of the universe or close to the place where the Big Bang occurred. Don't you think there should be unequal distribution of mass and energy in the universe? But guys, whenever we see the universe and try to learn what it's made up of, we see that the universe is having an equal distribution across in terms of mass and energy. The distribution of mass and energy across the universe is equal. Again, George Lemaitre could not answer this, right? So they were these two questions that George Lemaitre could not answer. And like I told you earlier also, if all the questions are answered by a hypothesis, these hypotheses are then accepted as theories, right? But because George Lemaitre could not answer these questions, we understand that Big Bang could be real, because Big Bang perfectly explains the expansion of universe. But the way how Big Bang has been explained by George Lemaitre, that may not be the right explanation. Are you able to understand? So guys, scientists had to come up with another theory to prove how did the universe turn out to be the way it is today. And that theory was called cosmic inflation. So please write down the first statement, cosmic inflation theory. Write down, it is a theory that studies the universe exactly after the Big Bang. So exactly after the Big Bang, what would have happened? Exactly after the Big Bang, how the universe changed. Everything is now studied under the cosmic inflation. And guys, because this is technically the last topic, for me this is the last topic, okay. I will discuss space weather phenomena, but for me this is the last topic of space. After this, I have covered a good number of, if you remember, they were slides up till 160s में था कुछ, अच्छा, okay, 180, okay. So we have slides up till 182, right? So, and cosmic inflation theory is slide number 130. So after this, all the slides that we have, it's not like I'm not going to discuss them, I'll discuss them, but they all are factual. There is no explanation involved. All of them are facts. Okay. Like there is a slide on gravitational lensing which I saw, which I'll discuss. Gravitational lensing I'll discuss. So you understood what is the cosmic inflation theory? What is the subject matter of cosmic inflation theory? The subject matter of cosmic inflation theory is exactly after the Big Bang, what really happened and how did the universe turn out to be like this, what we have today. Got it? This is the theory trying to study it. Okay. See, actually there is one issue with the theories of science actually. When you talk about the theories of science, like if I talk about any humanities theory, if I talk about any theory that is related to any kind of humanities subject, right, you will find that all these theories can be applied in various situations. Humanities, this is the beauty of humanities discipline also, that the theories of humanities, they are applied in other disciplines also. You must have seen the theories given by Karl Marx, they can be applied to different situations. In fact, today the concept of feminism is somewhat influenced by the Marxian ideology only, right? When we talk about the theories given by other sociology, because I had sociology optional, so I read these subjects in a slightly higher depth. So if you talk about the work of Max Weber, people from public administration background might have also read about his work, right? He was although a sociologist, right? If you talk about the work of Emile Durkheim, who talked about suicide, that what instigate a person to commit a suicide. Technically, it should be a psychological research, but it's a sociological research. So he said that there are two types of forces that compels a person to commit suicide. One is sociological and the other one is psychological. Like guys, you must have heard of something called sati pratha. Sati, right? Although in South India, satis were not very common, right? It was a very rare event here, but in the states of Rajasthan, in the state of Uttar Pradesh, right, sati was still a quite common thing during almost 100-200 years, right? It was a common thing. It was not considered to be a religious event, but it was practiced by the Hindus of these regions, right? How it is possible for a woman to commit, to basically what do you call this? Self immolation, right? Self immolation, is that the word? Burning, I understand, right? Okay. Yes, immolation. Yes, self immolate. How it is possible for a person to self immolate, right? Just after the death of the husband, right? So you can understand this sort of suicide. I hope you understand the word Siddle means to kill. Siddle means to kill, guys, right? And the word sui comes from sui generis, of one own self. So suicidal, right? Pesticide meant to kill pest. Insecticides, sides means to kill. Siddle, kill. If you take a drug called bactericidal drug, that means it is meant to kill bacteria, right? Everything is science, guys. Remember this, right? Bactericidal drugs, it is meant to kill bacteria. That will also come up in our class, in our discussions later on. I hope all of you get it. So suicidal. So how did somebody could actually, self-immolate as a sati? You can understand there must have been some kind of social forces also. So this is the beauty of the humanities subjects, that one subject will give theory on one side and it will be applied in various other situations. But with science, this is a problem. In science, whenever theory comes, it can only explain one phenomena. The moment you try to apply the same theory in another phenomena, the theory fails. So scientific theories or theories of natural science, they are limited in their application. So that's why there are so many theories that will keep coming up. That is the reason why Edwin Hubble discovered something, but we have not been able to find out the answer for all the questions from one theory. Are you able to understand? So this is the reason why in science new theories will be coming up to explain the same phenomena always. Got it? So guys, we understood that Big Bang explained how the universe got created. But what happened right after the Big Bang, it is explained by another theory called cosmic inflation theory. Got it? And now let's see what the cosmic inflation theory needs to talk about. So for this, guys, I'm going to make a timeline. I'll write down present here, right? And I'll go back in time from present, right? And let's say this is the point of the Big Bang. How many years old the Big Bang happened? How many years ago? We consider 14 or 13.8, I think. We consider 13.8. So let's consider it to be 13.8 billion years ago, right? So that is the point of our present. 13.8 billion years ago, the Big Bang happened. So this is the point of Big Bang. Got it? Understood, all of you? Now, guys, you can see that I've also drawn this timeline before the Big Bang. So something must have happened before the Big Bang also that could have triggered the Big Bang. Guys, right now we do not know. We do not know what really was there before the Big Bang. We do not know what was anything before the Big Bang. But there is a theory. Like I said, science have theories for everything. There is a theory that is trying to study the origin of the universe, or you can say the trigger of Big Bang. How did the Big Bang got triggered? There are two theories that are trying to study it, and I write it down like time before Big Bang, right? The time before Big Bang, and there are two theories trying to study it. You only need to know the name of the theory and what is their objective, because the theories themselves are not been completed yet. Even cosmic inflation theory is also not completed. Okay, so the theories that are trying to study the origin of the universe, then one of the theory you might have heard, it's called the string theory. So what is the string theory trying to study? It studies the creation of the universe from the Big Bang itself. What started the Big Bang? What caused the Big Bang to happen? String theory. And there is another theory called loop quantum theory. Actually, both these string theory and loop quantum theory are opposite theories to each other, right? String theory and loop quantum theory are the two different theories, and they both are opposite theories, right? They both have their own explanation of the Big Bang. But you guys can understand both these theories are incomplete, because in order to prove them, we have to create conditions of a Big Bang. And to create conditions of a Big Bang, only then we can really understand if there was any possibility of what string theory says or what quantum loop theory says. So I don't think that there is a need to remember any of them in terms of what is the current extent, what are their experiments. None of these things are important. Just remember the name of the two theories and what is their objective. It is to study the universe before the Big Bang, and to study what caused the Big Bang, what originated what caused the origin of our universe. right? Are you guys able to understand? String theory, that's it, nothing more. Although guys, I can talk about string theory in a slight detail also, but I don't think that it is very important, but I can talk about it. What do they believe? I can discuss that easily. Then guys came the Big Bang, right? And right after the Big Bang comes another theory. So right after the Big Bang guys, less than 1 second, after Big Bang, whatever must have happened in the very first second, of the universe's origin, whatever must have happened in the very first second of the universe's origin, we call this era as cosmic inflation era. Now you may be thinking why it is called an era when it is just less than 1 second. You can understand that the impact this particular 1 second has caused, this deserves to be called an era. Are you guys able to understand? It's called cosmic inflation era, and cosmic inflation theory is trying to study this era only. So what are the objectives or what are the subject matter of cosmic inflation theory? Please write it down guys. So cosmic inflation theory studies, number 1, expansion of universe. It is studying the process or the way how the universe is expanding. That is first point. Then cosmic inflation theory also studies the distribution. Cosmic inflation theory studies the distribution of mass and energy. Distribution of mass and energy in the universe. I told you about it. Cosmic inflation theory also studies the flatness of the universe. What has caused the flatness of the universe? This is also cosmic inflation theory is also trying to study. Then guys, cosmic inflation theory also tries to find out something called or studies cosmic microwave background. And then there is something more that the cosmic inflation theory tries to study. It is called isotropic gravitational waves. They are called isotropic gravitational waves. Now guys, we have just now studied gravitational waves in the last class where Einstein talked about gravitational waves. These are different types of gravitational waves. Isotropic gravitational waves. Got it? These are the things that cosmic inflation theory is trying to study.